Hello, everybody, and welcome to my page, Messages from Venus. My name is Madeline, and this is my channel, Messages from Venus. I am trying something new, so I decided to do a little cutesy little PowerPoint. Let's see how this works. Okay, so this video is going to be about the army of 144,000. And I'm going to give you guys a little perspective or a different perspective about what the army really is to me, and I'll talk to you guys about who's using the army and why people are talking about it. If you study esoterics and you've been following quote unquote biblical proportions or biblical occurrences or incidents, you should be hearing about the army of 144,000, and there's a lot of people coming out in the news in the spiritual community or in the pagan community talking about the fact that they're part of the 144,000 army and so on and so forth. But I'm going to give you guys a different perspective, like I said, so let's continue. Okay, guys, so now this is the second slide, and I'm going to talk to you guys about what the army of 144,000 is literally. If you're one of those people that takes the Bible literally and you take it word for word for word, you will find that the army of 144,000 is mentioned in two places in the Bible. It's mentioned in the book of Revelation 7 and 14. As described in the book of Revelation 7, the army of 144,000 is built of 12,000 descendants and or servants of the 12 tribes of Israel. And there are, like I said, 12 tribes and 12,000 people in each of those tribes. You guys can look it up online, what the name of the tribes are, and the order of the tribes, and what those tribes represents to this God mentioned in the Bible. Now, these 12,000 people in these 12 tribes make up 144,000 people, whom, according to Revelation 7, are the descendants or servants of God who are marked with the seal of God. And I am going to check and see, because I'm not quite sure if it I have the Bible right here next to me as I'm doing this video. So let's see. It's not like the seal of Lucifer, the devil, as somewhere in the book, and somewhere in this quote unquote holy book or the Bible, it mentions that the people that are going to be marked with the mark of the beast, it's not that mark according to them in the book of Revelations. Then you will find that the 144,000 army is described again or mentioned again in Revelations 14. And the army, the 144,000 army is supposed to be behind the Lamb, which is another phrase of a depiction of quote unquote Jesus, Yeshua, or God on the Mount of Zion, when these entities or archetypes are supposed to go off and battle off these evil entities, or these demons, or the Antichrist, or whoever is the Antichrist, or whoever makes up the body of the Antichrist on the Mount of Zion in the last days, according to the book of Revelations. And these beings, to me, as far as what it says in the book of Revelations 14, they're basically perfected beings that don't harm anything or anyone. They've never lied, they've never stolen, and they're described as beings without, or people without sin, as pure as virgins. And I quote that because it says it in the book. The part where I say that they are beings, it does not say that in the book. I describe them as beings because, to me, this scenario, as the Bible describes it, is not going to happen in literal terms. Then the exact number of people in the book of Revelations are described as those who are saved under the eyes of the Christian God, or whoever this God is speaking in this text. So in the book of Revelations 7, it is book of Revelation 7, numbers, let's see. So the army is mentioned in, I would recommend that you would read Revelation 7 in its entirety. But if you really just want to read about the army itself, you can go from Revelation 7, 4 through 8. Then if you turn to Revelations 14 and you only want to read about the 144,000, you can read Revelations 14, 1 through 5. And we're going to go on with the information as to what the 144,000 is to other people and why I'm making this video. So why I'm making this video, or why, according to me, it's important for people to know, number one, different religions. Not just the Christian religion, but I'm talking to you guys about the Bible and the Christian religion because it is the religion that is being smacked. It's being smacked in people's faces. It's being smacked in people's realities. It's been the religion that has been used or created to manipulate the masses, in my opinion. In not just the physical realm, but also the spiritual realm. Now, it's extremely important if you are a pagan or if you're practicing witch, if you don't like to call yourself a pagan, or you practice witchcraft, you practice brujeria, santeria, some type of spirituality, it's important for you to know different perspectives, so that if you are someone, like I said, that is a pagan, or you are practicing pagan, you know how to deal with people that either, number one, don't understand you and the reason why you became a pagan, and not to save quote unquote their soul, but to respect humanity, or to put your little pinch of salt for humanity, because in essence, even those who say that they aren't here in this planet to assist other people but themselves, they're not here to make a great change in the world. The fact that they are respecting nature and they respect nature is giving back to the world and helping and assisting the world. If you give readings for people, if you give tarot card readings, past life readings, excuse me, crystal readings for people, you are a witch and you assist people, in essence, you are assisting humanity. The next point that I want to make is that not everything that I say on my videos and not everyone that comes to my channel is a witch or is interested in what the fuck I have to say. So maybe this story of the 144,000 resonates with what you feel is going to happen in the quote-unquote end of days. Also, like I mentioned before, the Christian religion and biblical occurrences or biblical proportions or biblical events that have happened and that are supposed to happen according to the religion are being used in the New Age agenda, or the agenda of spirituality for the New Age. The reason why I say this is because I have met many people, especially in Barnes and Nobles on 14th Street. Every time I go to the Barnes and Nobles, I meet someone that just wants to talk, or has a different opinion, or wants to see what I think, or is just standing there to take energy from people. Because there are people that do that. They stand in places where they know pagans are going to be, that have high frequencies, or around people that have high frequencies, and they just sit there and suck people's energies. So, with that being said, I've met a lot of people that have spoken about the army of 144,000, and they feel like there are only going to be 144,000 people fighting against their adversary, or who they believe is their adversary. I do not agree with this agenda. I feel every human that has descended into this planet is part of the army of 144,000. There is no such exact number of an army of 144,000. The 144,000 to me, what it really means is ascension, or your alignment with the universe. It's your time, your ticker, your number that represents number 9, that represents completion, that represents you awakening to the fact that there is something other than a book called the Holy Bible or the Quran. Excuse me. And that there are other ascended masters that have opened the gateways or paths for you to have a greater experience in the school that we call planet Earth. Excuse me. And for you to also have the ability to descend into this planet and then go elsewhere if you want to. If you want to explore within our galaxy, outside of our galaxy, however you wish. That's what 144,000 means to me. It means also, when I say the alignment with the universe, is that you are aware that you are a different facet of the universe, and so therefore when things are happening in the universe, they're also reflecting within you, and you're reflecting to the universe. As above, so below. Now we're going to go to the next slide, and I'm going to explain to you guys the numerology aspect of the 144,000 and how I came up with the perspective or the idea or the belief or the gnosis, however you wish to call it, that the 144,000 is not just an army fighting off in the middle of a war, some sort of antichrist. So let's go on to the next slide. All right, so the 144,000 defined in numerology is just that. I took the number 144,000, the number 7, which represents Revelation 7, number 14, which represents Revelations 14, 12,000, which represents the 12,000 people in each of these 12 tribes that are supposed to be part of the 144,000. I broke down the word revelation, and then I added all the numbers that I came up with, and they came up with the number 5. Now, the reason why I broke things down in numerologically is because the numbers are part of sacred geometry, and in sacred geometry is how the universe works. It's all about numbers. It's all about timing, not in the illusion of time which we live in this planet, but timing as far as what the numbers are. No matter how much certain people with their certain perspectives or agenda try to push away or try to negate the fact that there is a higher consciousness, the collective she, or the collective consciousness. Not she as in like the female, but I guess I'll make videos about what that means. The collective consciousness, it lives within all of us. And even if someone vibrates on a quote unquote unbalanced energy or level, there's always a counterpart to everything. And no matter how much they try to hide the truth of the origins of the perfected being called the human, the numbers, time, colors, our intuition will always remind us of who we are, what melanin really is, and what times in our lives during our short visit in this planet we're supposed to be doing things. Because when you descended into this planet, according to my belief, you gave yourself these tickers and these times. Like, I'm gonna descend into this planet as an energy field, into this ego, which is John Doe. I'm gonna name myself John Doe, or my parents are gonna name me John Doe, and it's gonna have the frequency of X, Y, and Z. So when I descend into this planet, I need to learn this and this and this. And oh my gosh, this is so interesting. I would like to learn this. And so when I go back into my home or my real planet or where my source energy came from, I can vibrate with all those frequencies in my original form. So I'm going to go to the next slide and I'm going to explain to you guys what those numbers actually mean. So stay tuned to the next slide. So like I was saying in the previous slide, every number means something. If you study numerology, if you don't study numerology, it doesn't matter. You guys can go online, you can Google it. It has information as to what the numbers mean. And once people start studying numerology, you will see that everything is a cycle. That's why everything is infinite, because everything is a cycle. There's always a beginning and an end, and right after that end there's a beginning, and right after that end there's a begin. It's a cycle, a never-ending story, which is the beauty of life and the beauty of frequency and vibrations. So starting with the number 9, which the 144,000th number equals number 9, which means love manifested on the physical plane, universal laws, Christ consciousness, and completion. Now, what that means to you might mean something else to other people. The meaning of these numbers might mean something completely different to me or to other people. So I'm not going to give you guys the exact meaning of what it means to me. I'm going to just read it out to you guys, and it can resonate with you as it wills, or maybe it doesn't. Maybe you think that there is, or you feel like there is going to be an army of 144,000 fighting for the rest of the 7 billion people on the planet. So the number 7, which is Revelation 7, represents ceremonial order, magic, chaos, psychic abilities, and alchemy. Number 5, which represents the Revelations 14, it means concrete minds and science, storytelling, life lessons, and personal freedom. Number 4, which is the frequency of the word revelations, means harmony through conflict, inner wisdom, trust, and justice. And number 3, which is the numbers, or the frequency of the number 12,000 or 12, is active intelligence, Holy Ghost, Mother, Mind of God, and melanin, which all equal to your ascension, alignment with the universe, not just the solar system or the galaxy. It's your key or your symbol, or your I should say your symbol, your guide, your map into going back home. You're supposed to be preparing yourself. In my mind, this is my opinion, you're supposed to be preparing yourself in this time of the world where solar eclipses are happening back to back, lunar eclipses are happening back to back. The planets in the solar system are aligning to the point where the veil is becoming so thin that you can almost recognize people or humans in their natural form. You can recognize fairies, you can recognize unicorns, you can recognize gargoyles, you can recognize fallen angels, you can recognize I don't know. I have no idea. The fae everywhere. You can almost that's how it feels to me. You can recognize the energies of the divine feminine materialized in this planet. When you speak to certain females or you interact with certain people, you can feel and hear their soul is so old, and that they were priestesses in other lives. They understand how the world works in a more deeper understanding, not just via the tarot or oracle cards or numerology or any type of divination system, but their soul, their frequency, the way they treat other people, and their intention towards everything they pour their hearts and soul out. You can see the divine feminine in everybody's faces, even in the faces of men. That's why a lot of men are more sensitive now. doing more female things, or quote unquote female things. You can see that in the air. You can feel that in the air. And somewhere during this year or whenever, I will make a video about the Kemetic tree of life and the Kabbalistic tree of life, and explain to you guys a little bit like of what's going on with the veil and the divine feminine, and why the energy of the divine feminine is so important on the planet, and how you even see it like in the media. The media is also a great way to know what's actually happening in the world. Is this hidden symbolism of people um, of people giving you esoteric information indirectly. Some of them do it for their own benefit, others don't do it for their own benefit. It's only up to you to see through the message or see what their intention is. And so after all of that being said, I want to thank everybody so much for the supporting my page, interacting with me. I feel like I found so many friends, and yes, I can call you guys friends, that actually feel the way I feel in certain aspects, connect with me. I feel comfortable because I feel part of a pagan community. Thank you so much for those who are not part of the pagan community and are just understanding of the pagan community and our perception of life. Blessings and love to all of you guys, and please remember to always do your own research. Do not believe me. Do not take my word for the word of the Bible, the scripture. No, make your own things make sense to you. Make things make sense to you. If it doesn't make sense to you, then that means maybe you should find another channel that talks about the army in the way you feel, or the quote unquote army the way you feel it resonates with you. Please always do your research. If something doesn't make sense, if it cannot be explained, in my mind, it cannot possibly come from the divine feminine mother energy, the divine masculine energy. It cannot come from Kundalini. And if those of you that don't know, it's both the masculine and feminine energy rising up your spine, which is supposed to awaken you. And I know I'm like going off in the video, but that image is sometimes scary to certain people because of the bad rep that the snakes have had in our history, and it's hadn't set well with me until like 2.5 seconds ago either. So excuse me, but please do your own research, make your own conclusions. Don't take things for their literal world. Don't take things for their literal, whatever you can see, that's what it is, and that's how it has to be. No. Explore the world, explore your world, explore yourself physically, explore. No, research, always research, always imprint yourself in things so that the world never forgets about you. So that if this world as it is today, and how we're living the world today, really has the conclusion that some people might want to have for it, or want to make this world disappear and have their own agenda and have their own perspective, whoever passes by, whoever comes by, will never forget who humans are, who humans were. You will always be left in history, whether it be in this galaxy, whether your soul would travel and find a home somewhere else, or go back home from where your source energy came from. You will never be forgotten. Always remember, always imprint yourself. Do your research, imprint yourself. Let people know, let the world know, even if it's via an email, via a Facebook post. Let them know who you are. Stand up for yourself. Love yourself. Love is very important. Unconditional love is very important. If you can't practice unconditional love for whatever reason, or you don't want to practice unconditional love for whatever reason, try to love yourself, and from there your journey will start. So then again, Thank you so much for watching, and I hope you guys enjoyed my video and the perspective about the 144,000 army. And yeah, blessings to all of you. And I'm going to continue to blab on. There's, to me, no such thing as 144,000 people, and there's 7 billion people, and the universal God is going to leave 7 billion people to eat shit, can't defend themselves, can't fight for themselves, and suppress 144,000 people. That does not make sense to me. But again, to each his own. I'm blabbing on. Blessings and love to all, and have a blessed and wonderful life wherever you are, wherever you're listening to this video. I will see you guys at the next video. Bye.